10 hours under a killing sun, 45 degrees Celsius, 113 Fahrenheit. Sand in your teeth, lime dust on your skin, blisters already torn open. Your screen shows 3 bars: hydration, energy, injury. You have 3 lives. Miss quota, and your name is crossed off. No excuses. You are not a tourist of history today. You are a builder on a real schedule, and your day will be measured, not guessed. At noon, we test the real ration combination: dense bread, low-alcohol beer, onions, and water, on camera. Before the final minute, you will see, step by step, the exact method that moves multi-ton blocks. No myth, only numbers and sweat. 3 bars, 1 screen. Hydration falls fastest after sunrise. If hydration empties, energy drains at twice the rate, and your vision blurs. A foreman will notice. 1 warning is free. Ignore the second and you lose a life. Refill points are jar stands by the ramp base and the quarry pool. 30 seconds buys a sip. 2 minutes fills a jar. Refilling costs time, and time buys quota. Choose. Energy is your pace. Lifting blocks, pulling sleds, swinging hammers, hauling ropes, everything spends energy. Micro rests recover energy slowly. Shade, when stationary, doubles recovery. A mouthful of beer bread at break gives a small bump without a crash. 2 slowdowns in a row cost 1 life because the team misses plan. Injury rises with strain and mistakes. Rope burn, crushed toes, a chip of flint in the eye. A quick wash and linen wrap stabilize minor hits. If injury enters the red zone, treatment at the medic tent is mandatory. Time burns away, and a penalty tick lands on your team leader. 1 more serious hit before noon costs a life. You have 3 lives total. Scoring is simple and visible. Keep hydration at or above 50% by noon. Keep energy at or above 1/3 by dusk. Never let injury enter the red. Meet the crew quota. Each success adds to a survival score you will see in the epilogue. A scribe reads names onto a clay tablet. Crews form by trade. Quarrymen carry copper chisels and dolerite hammers. Ramp pullers grip thick palm fiber ropes. Riggers move with wooden levers and pegs. Water carriers balance jars along the track. Surveyors hold cords, plumb bobs, and sighting rods. It looks like an army, but it runs like a workshop spread across a hillside. The foreman taps a board. Rolls change your strain. Quarry is impact and dust. Ramp is rhythm and legs. Rigging is timing and knots. Water is distance under sun. Survey is accuracy that prevents rework. Everything depends on coordination. If one crew slips, all others pay. Your morning modifiers are clear. Quarry gives 5% more shade with a steady energy drain and low randomness. Ramp cuts energy per meter when cadence is perfect, but drains hydration faster. Rigging saves energy, yet increases injury risk if a knot jams. Water exposes you to hydration risk, but when you avoid cues, the whole team recovers better. Survey costs little energy, but a single error can trigger rework that spikes energy for everyone. Work runs in cycles. Cut and shape at the quarry. Load onto a wooden sled. Pull along a wetted sand path. Pause at anchor posts. Reset lines. Up again to the placement area under the surveyor's signal. Imagine the ramp as a staircase you cannot see. Short lifts, deliberate resets, practical rules, not hero speeches. Drink before thirst. Rotate your grip to avoid hot spots. Keep the sand damp ahead of the runner's dry sand grips. Damp sand lets the sled glide. Follow the drum. Do not yank alone, your HUD ticks. Hydration eases down. Energy is steady. Injury stays low. A unit card floats. 1 cubit is about 0.52 meters. Anchors sit roughly 20 to 30 cubits apart. 10 to 15 meters. The drummer's beat sets your cost per meter. A smooth pull costs less energy than a ragged surge. Hands low on the rope, keep your wrists straight. Hips close to the sled, reduce leverage on your spine. When the water runner wets the strip ahead, not under, the sled hums rather than bites. That hum is friction dropping away. Choice. 2 options for the next cycle. Stay on the main pull line. Predictable strain, no surprises. Or rotate to rigging for 2 cycles. Lighter effort, but tie and release under pressure. Choose rigging and your energy dips slower. Injury risk ticks up if a toggle jams. You slide to the rigging post and set a toggle loop. Ready? The sled noses to the anchor. The team leans. You release cleanly, and the load rolls to the next post. One smooth reset saves an entire pull. The leader nods once. Approval without ceremony. Myth says crews hauled blindly under lashes. Fact says signaling is everywhere. Arm motions from riggers, drum calls for tempo, a surveyor's raised rod that means hold. 30 seconds of shade at a survey check feels like a gift, not a delay. Organization is why anyone lasts beyond mid-morning. A veteran adjusts his palm wrap. Turn the rope every cycle. Fresh skin each time. You copy the habit. Your injury bar flattens. Maintenance is productivity. Dull edges cost minutes. Minutes cost quota. Quota risks lives. At the platform, stones slide into position with wooden levers, pebbles, and a dry sand shim. Surveyors sight along taut cords. A tap here, a pry there. The block settles level. Noise drops. The crew exhales. Hydration trends downward faster as the sun climbs. Break is not indulgence. It is planned output. The water runner times refills to avoid cues. You take measured sips to prevent cramps. Shade is a tool, not a luxury. The ration bell rings. Decision time. Eat and rest longer for a larger energy buffer, or keep the break short to protect schedule cushion. Today, split the ration to test its effect under heat. Dense emmer bread, low-alcohol liquid bread, onions for salts, water for volume. Pre-break bars sit on screen. You tear off bread first, slow sips of water. A bite of onion for salts. Beer last in a small mouthful to avoid drowsiness. You wet the headcloth. You rewrap your palms dry inside. Micro choices keep people on the line. Veterans last because they bank small advantages. 5 minutes after the split ration, energy ticks up without a spike. Hydration stabilizes. Injury stays flat. 30 minutes later, the benefit remains, and schedule slip is minimal because the break was split, not stretched. Afternoon ramps are steeper and hotter. Control replaces speed. Each ramp segment is a control point. Anchor posts are set every 20 to 30 cubits. Where the load pauses, the rope is rehitched, and the pull angle is corrected. A retainer rope from uphill acts as insurance. If the sled lurches, the retainer bites and the stone settles. Instead of backsliding, the drummer slows the beat on the steeper grade. A slightly slower cadence reduces the peak energy cost per meter because the pull becomes smooth. Smooth beats strong, levers do quiet work. At an anchor, 2 riggers slide a short lever under the runner and pry just enough to advance a bed of pebbles. That tiny lift lets the sled crest the lip without a jerk. Another pair nudges sand shims to keep the sled level and prevent ramp shaving. Small corrections protect bodies and the ramp for the next run. Another choice. 2 ways to handle the next steep section. Add a second lever crew at each anchor. Cycles slow, but jerks and injuries drop. Or keep 1 lever crew and increase wetting frequency. Pace is preserved, but water runners must hit marks perfectly. Keep 1 lever crew and trust the runners to move in a triangle. Jar stand a wetting point to shade. Logistics is choreography. A veteran rigger teaches a rope trick. Twist the line back a quarter turn before release so the fibers unwind instead of snapping when the pin comes out. You try it. The release is clean. Nobody stumbles. Less drama. More stone set. By mid-afternoon, the ramp meets the placement platform. Blocks do not drop. They arrive. Rollers shift the block sideways. A lever persuades, not conquers. A tight cord decides when the face is true. The quiet is deliberate. A whistle cuts the air. The overseer arrives, stylus ready, patience thin. 3 questions decide if the day counts. Did you meet lift and placement targets? Did you keep injuries within tolerance? Did you leave the ramp usable tomorrow? Water usage comes first. Too many late refills mean poor pacing. Your runner's ledger shows steady, early top-ups, no noon bottleneck. Check.anchor posts next. He inspects wear at sockets, gouges at lips, scattered pebbles. Minimal damage means clean lever work. Check.injuries. The medic lists rope burns treated at the tent, 1 bruised foot, 1 eye rinse from dust. No crush injuries. No uncontrolled slide. Low-severity, high-frequency injuries are managed. Chaos is what kills quota. Check.random spot check at your rigging point. Show me the hitch. You lay the line, set the toggle, twist back a quarter turn, and release. Fibers relax instead of snapping. Marked clean output tally. You stand 1 stone shy because of the midday slowdown. The overseer scans the margins for earned minutes. Early wetting cycles, lowered friction, clean releases. He writes a single note, efficiency credit +1. The tally nudges to quota. The crew breathes again. Ramp integrity is last. He kneels at the steep section you argued to keep with increased wetting instead of extra levers. The surface is scored but intact. Anchor lips are crisp. Usable, he says. Check. Now the step-by-step method that actually moves multi-ton blocks. First, preload. The block starts cradled on a smoothed wooden sled with a bed of pebbles under key points to reduce static stiction during transitions. Second, track preparation. A runner wets the strip of sand ahead of the runners, not underneath, so the sled rides onto reduced friction rather than smearing it away. Third, cadence. The drum sets a steady pull. A smooth cadence lowers energy per meter more than raw speed. Fourth, insurance. A retainer line from uphill prevents catastrophic backsliding on anchor approaches. Fifth, anchor choreography. At each post, riggers rehitch, lever a few millimeters to crest the lip, advance the pebble bed, and adjust sand shims to keep level. Sixth, placement. At the platform, rollers move the block laterally, levers nudge into final alignment, a taut cord and plumb confirm level, and pebbles with sand shims lock the face. Seventh, reset. Neat rope coils and tool checks prevent overnight fraying and dull edges that would cost minutes tomorrow. Your HUD freezes. Hydration above half at noon? Yes. Energy above 1/3 by dusk? Barely, but yes. Injury kept out of red? Yes. Quota met? Yes, with 1 efficiency credit. 2 lives remain. You did not win by bravado. You survived by procedure. The praise that matters here is one word: repeatable. It means you could do this again tomorrow without breaking the system or yourself. What moved stone today was not a secret. It was a stack of small correct choices. Drink before thirst. Move with cadence. Twist back before release. Spend 1 minute on care to buy half an hour without accidents. A rigger raised 2 fingers and 50 people stopped, not from terror, but because the line had to be true. 1 shift down. Can you make it through 7? Over a week, rope fibers dry and need splicing. Hedges dull and demand resharpening. Ramps erode and call for cut and fill. The overseer wants lost time recovered. Small errors grow teeth. Choose a specialty for the week run, and your bars will change. Master advanced hitches, toggles, and 2-line releases to lower energy cost at anchors. Pay with focus. Lead water with staggered circuits and shade-to-shade routing. Your hydration risk climbs, but the team recovers faster. Own survey, where tolerance stacking as courses rise, means minimal energy, but maximum consequence. Captain the ramp, balancing wetting cadence and beat control to optimize friction against pace. Or take the quarry, where sharpening cycles, dolerite hammer rotation, and shade breathing protocol keep output alive. Friction has rules you can feel. A small sled on dry sand bites. The same sled on damp sand glides. A clean, steady beat cuts the peaks off each pull, so the team spends less on every meter. Anchors have geometry. A slight lip needs a lever nudge because a short lever multiplies your effort at the runner, and a shallow bed of pebbles spreads load and reduces static spikes. Heat has math, shade, when stationary, doubles energy recovery. A wet headcloth buys brain clarity. A split break strategy trades a small immediate boost for a sustained, schedule-friendly rise. Rope has memory. Neat coils prevent kinks. Twist direction matters. The quarter turn before release bleeds stored torsion so the line relaxes instead of snapping. Survey has consequences. A 15mm error across a course means rework. And rework means another haul. Which roll would you choose for the week-long run? And what change would you make to today's strategy? The top-voted plan becomes the next scenario. You match the site not by force, but by rhythm and care. Tomorrow the grade steepens. Systems, not myths, move mountains of stone. See you on shift 2.